Here is the fantastic Ronnie Loaiza, who is going to help us um, have a movement session and tell us just a few key facts as well about how helpful it can really be to incorporate movement even during cancer treatment.
My name is Ronnie Loaiza. I go by Ronnie Low Life Coach. I just kind of said it one day and it stuck and everybody liked it. I am a certified professional life coach and I am also a certified personal trainer. I'm also very educated and certified in correctional exercise. So correctional is really anything when you have an issue, a physical issue. And that has been in my world, everything from elbows, bad knees, back problems, hip replacements, to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, and even cancer. So it has included the gamut. Corrective exercise specialists, because everyone is unique. While we all have the human experience and we can all share, or we may share an issue, a challenge. When I say issue, a health challenge or a health issue, like a disease, we may share that, but you're you and you're going through your own experience. And what I've seen and heard on Julianne's summit is every person really knocks that in, like this, but you have to tailor it to you. I've heard that over and over, and it's true. You know yourself, so it may sound woo-woo, but connect with yourself and really know what you're capable of so that you do go to that, not limit, but you do push yourself a little bit, because you always will appreciate it, whatever we're talking about in any of these health exercises and mind exercises. You push yourself a little bit because you can go to your limit. And again, don't expect yourself to go over that limit. And you know that. So I invite you to connect with yourself mentally, spiritually, or psychically, and of course, your body physically. Now, Julianne invited me here, kind of a pinch hitter, last minute. So I don't have the beautiful PowerPoints, but again, Carrie Lynn helped me out by putting a list of things I would like to go over first. And then I'm still dressed like this from training people today. And I also coach people to show you some exercises that you can do as far as weight training that aren't hard. You can do just with your body. And I know you can YouTube these and look them up, but these are specific things that just are basic and you can do just with your own hands and your own body. So I'd like to go over some of the things that I have found. And exercise really does ease your pain, especially when you're going through any kind of treatment or therapy. You may think, no, that's going to be too hard. But in my experience with my clients, and from what I have heard, and from what I read, and from talking to doctors, in the long run, in the long term, it really starts easing pain. It really starts helping your body be in a better shape to calm down any pain and discomfort. It also helps with energy. I mean, we always hear that and it's like, well, how do I get energized, especially going through chemo or any other kind of therapy? It does help your body, because your body is going to know, okay, now I can rest. And now, since it's exercise, it's recuperating, and it gives you back not just adrenaline when you're working out, but also it changes your metabolism. It works with your metabolism. You may think, okay, I've got cancer. What do I care about metabolism? Your metabolism is just a synonym for hormones. So it works with your hormones to regulate your body. Your hormones, when they're trying to regulate themselves and working with your body, who's working with that treatment, it helps you gain energy, because it helps you regulate where you're going to get energy and when you need rest. Bone density is a big one for me. Huge, huge, huge. Because when you're going through chemo or a lot of other things, and then just with age, I just got hair in my mouth, or just with age, and I'm 57 going on 58, bone density is a big issue. We start losing bone density as we get older, just like we lose muscle mass. So if you haven't had a DEXA scan, which is also x-rays or rays, you may want to talk to your doctor about a DEXA scan or not, but preventative bone density, it's not calcium. Yes, you need a certain amount of calcium, but your body will eliminate the excess calcium. And some people are starting to overdo the vitamin D. So that's something else to talk to your doctor about, vitamin D and calcium, because you can overcalcify. Bone density also comes from weight training. Okay. You have to give it a little bit more force, a little bit more weight, and the density builds up. Another thing, I know it's nutrition, you might want to look at collagen and bone broth if you're not a vegan. Okay. Bone broth really does help with collagen, and it does help the bones itself. But that's something to look into with your nutritionist, with your doctor. It makes you less nauseous. When you work your hormones and you work them through strength training, you're working your metabolism. So when you're working with your hormones, it helps regulate what in your body is making you nauseous. And when you're nauseous, it's usually your body trying to regulate yourself after treatment, after medicine. So it really does help with that. And I know some people do CBD, some people do actual, I forgot, THC. That's something to talk about with your doctor. But aside from what, the nutritions that calm you down, exercise helps you calm and also have less nausea. It helps your balance. Oh my gosh, in my training, the big thing is balance. We start losing a sense of appropriate. Oh my God, I say this all the time. Appropriate. Okay, I forgot it. I say it all the time and now I can't say. Okay, appropriation. Okay, so your ears and your whole body have a sense of what's around you. Okay, and that sense is what helps you have balance. It's not just being able to stand on one leg, I've got great balance, or just balance on your 2 feet. It really is proprioception. Proprioception. It's all the surroundings around you. And when you're going through any kind of treatment or you're on medication, it can affect the proprioception. So in strength training, you have to use your core. You have to use your core. Your core is everything from here to here. Some people include the glutes. I say this, the trunk, the cylinder of your body. When you're using your core, it's helping you stay balanced. So in strength training, everything is based from the core, whether you're doing biceps, whether you're doing triceps, whether you're doing something with glutes, the main thing is always core. Tense up your core, be aware of your core, level out your core, whether you're horizontal and you're doing the plank or you're vertical, it's always here. That's how Pilates started. I know I go off on tangent, so Julianne will wipe me back in, but this is how Pilates started. Joseph Pilates started Pilates for rehabilitation for his dancers, and everything stemmed from the core, whether they're rehabilitating their arm or their leg or whatever. Their dancing always depended on their core. And something I learned in my training for Parkinson's disease is, I don't know if you guys remember, maybe I'm dating myself, but there used to be at carnivals where you punch a a clown that's like a bag, like a punching bag, and you punch him and you go, because there were balls in the middle. So whenever you punch them, those balls are the core and they would bring them back upright. That's what's here, our core, but we have to be aware of it. And so in strength training, you do have to stand still and use yourself as your own bipod. You can't be all flimsy. You have to make sure that you use your core whenever you're working any muscle. And especially when you do free weights as opposed to the machines, you really get a sense of balance. Your body starts knowing when to be balanced, and that helps you in life. It's very functional. When you're going up the stairs, when you're going down the stairs, that's when a lot of people lose their balance. So we'll go to the next one. Osteoporosis, less likely. Again, that bone density. I don't know if I'm too far away. Okay. So tell me if I'm not loud enough, because I know I back up a lot. But I have always had the tendency to go on the spectrum towards osteopenia. It's genetic. I started in 2000. My doctor noticed, so I always had to, and he's the one that got me into weight training, not those old Nautilus machines, but really weight training. Because a machine, if you sit down on a bench and you have the back holding you, the machine is doing 80% of the work. Now, machines are great. It's great to add variety, and it's great so that you'll learn the proper positions. And then when you do it by yourself, you know the proper form and position. But I tell all my clients, let's vary it up. Let's vary it up. If you go to a gym and you like the machines, fine. Sometimes machines, sometimes free weight, sometimes band, sometimes cable, variety, so that your body's always going, oh, this is new. But if you only use machines and the same old machines, then your body gets used to it and the core is not worked. Back to osteoporosis. That's how I got into weight training at first, because I was a total cardio girl. And at the time, they used to call it aerobics, right? Remember that? All the Jane Fondas and the step classes and the dancing. But I didn't really do weight work. When I started doing weight work, my osteopenia shot up into the normal range. So I have to keep watching that. And it's very important to keep that up. Keeps your bones strong. It helps keep you at a healthy weight. Why? People think that you have to go running and you have to do all these, like, oh my God, I'm dancing, I'm doing Zumba, or I'm doing this class and HIIT and all that and Peloton. Yes, cardio is important, but think about it. Your heart is a muscle, but you can't take it out of you and pump it. So we work our heart by making it speed up, work harder, and slow down. With all our other muscles, we have to give it some kind of force. So sometimes there's endurance, you do like 100 reps, I'm exaggerating, or sometimes you do heavier weight and do 6 reps. But it really helps you lose weight because, again, it regulates your metabolism. When you work your muscles then go, oh, I've got to recuperate, feed me. Your metabolism kicks in and burns fat. So that's how it helps you maintain a healthy weight or lose weight. Now, if you're losing too much weight because you're in therapy, so I'm just going to be very frank, if you're losing weight because you don't have an appetite, then of course you work with your doctor on how much to eat, but it still helps to regulate your metabolism through strength training because you still need to be strong and you still need those muscles going. Come on, metabolism, kick in. Okay. All right.
Hey, Ronnie, you've got me convinced. Let's do it.
All right. So we'll get you in there and we'll go over a few of these more. But I do want to hit on this one. It improves your blood flow, which is so important, especially in your legs. It can perhaps reduce the risk of blood clots and any other issues you have. So we'll go after a few more. And the mindset one, it really helps you with de-stressing. And we've all heard this, but it does. Okay. So maybe throughout the day, you can do a few things. I'm going to show you the body one, the body weights one. Let's say I'm sitting on a bar stool now, but I'll stand up. But let's say you're sitting in a chair or you're standing. So tell me if you need me to back up or get closer. These are also my travel exercises. Put your hands together where your knuckles are and that little part of your wrist, okay? You're going to press them into each other, okay? This is my garage, by the way. So have it at your cleavage or your chest and push them into each other as you push out. What do you feel, Julianne, doing this?
Biceps.
Nope.
And
actually you are, because I just saw you. You're doing bicep. Have it here. I'm so glad you did that. Keep the wrists together. Press your hands into each other and notice where my arms are. They're directly in front of my cleavage and they're diagonal. What I saw you doing was this.
Okay.
Right? So that's bicep. And that is another exercise. Bicep can be press them into each other and do a bicep curl. Release the tension. Press them into each other. Release the tension. That's bicep. But if you want to do a chest press, press them into each other. It's also called a valley press. I'm not sure why. And note, I'm pressing. My pecs are totally contracted and then release the tension. Pecs. Here's another one. You press them into each other and pinch your shoulder blades and pull with your elbows. So you press them into each other. I invite you guys to try this at your seat or stand up. Pinch your shoulder blades and pull it, press into each other and release. Now, Julianne, do you feel this in your back?
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a total row. Okay, you can also do this, which it gets you a little bit tired. Okay, so you're going to press your knuckles into each other if you can. If you don't have an issue with it. And tense up your shoulders. Now, here's the woo-woo part. Tense them up from the inside out. Pretend you're tensing them up and bulking them up, and the energy will come out from there. But press your knuckles into each other as you press up. The wrists and the knuckles if you can. Where do you feel that?
Outsides of my shoulders.
Very good.
Hey, I got it right.
You can do a few of those. These get tiring. The muscles are tensing up. Now, this one you have to watch out, but it's great for traveling, like in the airplane, but people will think you're weird. So what? But I wouldn't do it at the grocery store checkout line. All right. And we all know the plank if you can. I am a real stickler about doing a proper plank. Now, the ones I just showed you, you can just take a break during the day. Let's say you've got a break, you want to, you know how people say, go take a walk, fine. And sometimes you just want to stay in, you don't want to go for a walk, do a little strength training, or you take a break while you're working, you're in your office or your home office or at work. You can do the ones I just showed you. Some people don't want to do ab crunches at work. I get it. They don't want to do planks at work, fine. But I'm just going to show you a proper plank, okay? People tend to think that this is a plank. My butt's up in the air. No. Down, tuck under, tilt your pelvic bone. And this is really hugely important. Your hands should be under your breasts, your pecs, not under your shoulders. And I'll go nose to nose with anyone that says, oh, put them under your shoulders. Okay? So under your pecs, you feel your core. And I like my feet together or slightly apart, not totally apart, because then your back starts going in. So feet together or just an inch apart, my hands are under my breasts. Now see what happens when I put them under my shoulders? Okay, I'm strong, so mine doesn't sink in, but most people start doing this. They feel it in the lower back, or they have to go up because they can't sustain it. So when I say tilt, this is what I mean. Your hip bones, just tilt. It doesn't mean go all like that. It just means tilt. Pretend these are hips. You just tilt them. That's it. Now, if you can't do them on your feet, there are two other ones. You either do them on your feet and your forearms, and your chin has to be over your cupped hands. Your elbows are matching the ribs. Your cupped hands are underneath your chin, and that's a proper plank. Or you can be on your hands and your knees, but you're not like this, you're like this, tilt under. Or the easiest one, because there's less body weight, is this. But notice my chin is over my hands. I'm not here. That I feel in my back. Okay? And you can do side planks, bend your bottom knee, make sure they're nice and stacked. You're on your elbow. Your body weight is not in your elbow. And you're not pushing anything. You're pulling with your waist. You can go up and down dynamic, which just means you're moving, or you can leave it up and time yourself. Or you can do it on your feet, or you can do mermaid style where your feet are tandem. So those are planks. You know the old-fashioned crunches. What I invite you to do in any kind of crunch or sit-up, I don't do sit-ups. That's really archaic. I do crunch. So you close the natural arch of your back. See here, I can put my hand under my arch, but then I close it by bringing down the middle vertebrae. So you can crunch. You can crunch. You can do a reverse crunch. I totally feel that in my abs. Or you can be sitting up, go back as far as you can or want. You can use a dumbbell if you want, you don't have to. Curve and crunch and go back. Curve and crunch and go back. So I'm curving by the oblique. I'm curving, I'm bringing it in, that's why I'm talking funny. Okay? Now, Julianne, do you want me to show a few
So
more?
much. No, I wish I could.
Yeah.
but,
I'm going to leave you with
um,
one more thing, though. Got to get this in. These can be your best friends at the office, whether home office or at work. Because again, you're not going to get up and start doing jumping jacks, and you're not going to take all your dumbbells to work, or maybe in your office. And these are so handy right there at your desk. You can do a million things with them, and you can YouTube me. You can get a hold of me. You know, you're working your back,
Perfect.
you're working your back, you're working your bicep, you're working your tricep. You can work your outer thighs. You can put them around your knees. You can put them around the arches of your feet, you know, and get your legs outside. These are awesome. They're cheap and they're very useful. And they are.
And we have all sorts of great contact info for Ronnie, so you can get a hold of her. And the recording of this session, which I'm sure people are going to want to go back to, is also going to be part of, if you either buy the full set of recordings or if you win the movement session recordings, they'll all be there. And yeah, I can't tell you, just the whole idea that there's such a thing as corrective exercise that can really help people who, it's designed for those of us who aren't necessarily, um, coming at it from perfection or
Well,
from
not
never
even
having
perfection. It's like
never having had any real serious health setbacks.
people think it,
So
oh, well, working out is just to lose weight. No, honey, it's to really keep you as optimum as you can. And during the challenging times, that's especially when a little consistency and little bits really do help. Okay.
yeah,
So
for
do reach
sure.
out to
Even
me.
when I was like in the middle of treatment, it was a huge mental health benefit immediately. When I could walk a couple of blocks and I had been feeling sort of vulnerable, or fragile. And I walked a couple blocks all by myself. That felt good. So that's mental health. But then physical health, you were saying it might take long term. Not for me. It was within less than an hour, I could tell the difference that my body was responding and was just so happy. Thank you, it was telling me for walking
And by
these
the way,
dogs.
just another thing, you
So
don't get
jump in and do any little thing you can.
yeah, and you don't get bulky. You really, really don't. It's impossible unless you spend 2 hours at the gym every day. Women do not get bulky unless they want to, and they're weight training for that. They're bodybuilding. And again, Julian, you're offering each guest is offering a special gift. I am a life coach and that's how I'm helping people in various areas of their life through life coaching, and fitness is one of them, and all sorts of areas and aspects of their lives, but fitness is one of them. And my gift here is 3 personalized one-on-one coaching sessions.
Yeah, so please sign up for that on the summit page,